Hello, my friends. I am B, and this is B's Intuition. Today we're going to do a reading. I thought it'd be fun to just do a lighthearted reading, and since I'm out in nature, and I've been watching this YouTube channel. I don't even know what to call it, like fae themed, but also witchy themed and nature themed. She's just a whole vibe. Her name's like Alwyn Oak. I will definitely leave a link in the bio, because I definitely recommend her channel if you're into. Sorry, there's a lot of geese in the background making lots of noises. I hope you don't mind, or that the mic doesn't pick it up so much. Anywho, yes, I definitely recommend her channel if you're into like things like fairies, um, inner child healing, and really encouraging that inner child to come out and not being afraid or ashamed of that. Um, Also, witchy vibes, and nature vibes. So, nature witch, nature fairy, that kind of vibe. Um, and she just has very aesthetic, very beautiful content. I'm in no way affiliated with her in any ways, but um, I just definitely recommend her channel. And I have a feeling that the collective that I typically do these readings for and that connect with the messages, I have a feeling a lot of you are either healing your inner child, or maybe you enjoy doing things for your inner child, such as things that are related to fairies or being out in nature, or witchy things, um, like manifestation spells and all that. But anywho, tangent aside, I thought it would be fun to do this reading, like a lighthearted reading, and this will be a message from the fae, the fairies of this nature. And so, please and thank you, Spirit. Please connect me to the fae, and the fairies, and we'll just see like what. And so, for those that don't believe in fairies, or that kind of thing, pretty much how I am rationalizing it in my mind, is that the fae, or fairies in the modern sense of the words, I feel like it's almost like spirit, but more inner child ish, or like more youthful, more of that childlike energy. Pretty much spirit just coming through in a way that may either be supporting your inner child or encouraging or something like that. So pretty much, if you're having a hard time logicking it, yeah, that's not a word. If you have a hard time rationalizing it in your brain, that's pretty much how I'm breaking this down, or my point of view of it. So yeah, I'm also going to try and make this a quickie, but I feel like I say it all the time and I never do. Because I just get so swept away by the messages and stuff. I get really into them. And I just love doing these so much. I kind of wish that there was more geesies over in the distance, because before they were like in this beautiful symphony of geese honks, and a lot of them left now, but still really cool. Anyways, I just love being outside. I love being in nature. I love being here in this spot. One of my favorite spots, probably my top favorite, this one, for multiple reasons, but the view is truly beautiful. Anywho, let's just dive right into the reading, shall we? Yes. Let me just make sure nothing's obscuring the microphone. Please and thank you, Faye. What messages do you have for the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. What messages do you have for the collective? Please and thank you. And this can be literally about anything. What would the Fae like to communicate to the collective? I'm not going to take that one just because I had that pop out the same way in the last reading, and I don't want that recurring message. Anything else that you would like to, I would just hate for this reading to be an exact copy um, of the one that I just did, the last face reading I did. What else would you like to tell the collective, share with the collective, please? And thank you, Faye. Ooh, thank you, fairies. I appreciate you. And I love you. Okay, here we go. So the first card that came out here, we have the Seven of Cups. Then we have the Five of Swords. Then we have the Seven of Wands. The King of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful energy. All right, let's just Dave. Who's Dave? Let's just dive right into the reading, starting with that Seven of Cups. Please and thank you, Faye. What messages do you have for the collective in relation to the Seven of Cups? Please and thank you, Faye. What's going on here? What kind of messages do you have for the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. Well, Faye. But I really do feel like the Faye, the wholesome Faye of the modern era, is just a more childlike expression of spirit. That's what I would say, from my poisonal perspective opinion. So I have a feeling that the messages coming through are probably going to be inner child related, but we shall see. So clarifying that Seven of Cups, we have the Judgment card, the Death card, the Eight of Cups, Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This is so weird. It's like when spirit wants to get a message through, they literally, like, they don't give up on it. Because, like, what are the odds that I literally tried to avoid, because what came out first was the Knight of Cups in the reverse, which we already covered in that last face reading I did. And in that reading, the Judgment card and the Eight of Cups came out together, and the Ace of Wands was like a recurring theme at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like maybe there was a message in that I just didn't get at that time. So maybe it's meant to come through in this reading. Anywho, let's tap into this energy. What messages do you have for the collective? Please and thank you, Faye. Oh, okay. So this actually does feel like a different energy, or at least a different message. So that Seven of Cups, it feels like opportunities are going to be knocking at your door very soon. And this is as a result of you doing some huge work on yourself. Definitely on a soul level, internal level, mental health level even. I see you making pretty dramatic changes, but that align you to a new phase of life in which you're trying to manifest. And I feel like that's exactly what's going to be coming through for you. It almost feels like you've been doing everything right to set yourself up in perfect alignment to the reality that you wish to see for yourself. So that could be definitely a message of encouragement. If right now you're feeling discouraged, maybe you're not seeing the results of all of that hard work yet, but I do feel like it's coming for you. And so, like, not only have you done that internal work, you've been making some good choices, putting yourself into alignment with the things that you want, but you've also gone through a very intense, dramatic transformation. Major transition. And it's like, I mean, these two cards are major arcana, so it feels pretty significant. It even feels like this is talking about a huge shift that is going to happen in your life because you have done the work behind the scenes to ensure this reality comes into existence for you. And then we have the Eight of Cups, and I feel like that is definitely a card of you choosing yourself, doing what is best for you first and foremost, having to make those difficult decisions when it means potentially leaving behind people that no longer emotionally fulfill you, or just situations, environments, anything like that. At one point, it probably was emotionally fulfilling, but the more it went on, it just became something that no longer made you happy, and you decided to choose yourself. And I feel like spirit is responding to that to give you your manifestations, because it feels like there's a sense of you being ready here. I do also find it very interesting that we are clarifying the Seven of Cups, and then one of the cards to clarify that Seven of Cups is the Eight of Cups. And I like to see cards within the same suit with escalating numbers, that sort of synchronicity, because to me that speaks of you moving forward, actively, yeah, moving forward on your journey. You're making progress whether you see this right now or not. Also, in terms of your inner child healing, Eight of Cups, why does that make me feel almost like you've been doing more things to that emotionally fulfill you? And maybe a lot of those things that do emotionally fulfill you um, could be things that you enjoyed as a child. Maybe you're reconnecting with your inner child and letting that guide you to the things that actually do fulfill you. There could be something around your goals in which you are maybe, maybe upon reflection, if you look at your goals and you think back to when you were a child, maybe there's something like some sort of connection there, because it almost feels like there is some sort of big purpose that you're here for, and you're setting yourself up for walking in that path of your purpose. But yeah, I do think that somebody here that I'm tapping into has been working with their inner child, trying to support their inner child, trying to feed their inner child. And if you are, you're doing a good job, is what I want to say. Yeah. Well, that's a beautiful message there. It feels like you're definitely setting yourself up for not only your success, not only being put on your path if you're not already on that already, because to be honest, you could already be on that path based on this energy. Um, but it's also going to be opening a lot of doors for you. And I feel like these are opportunities that you may not have foreseen, but they're going to be positive nonetheless. And probably emotionally fulfilling for you, way more emotionally fulfilling for you than whatever your past had for you. Feels like you're definitely in this energy of like, let's go towards the new. Let's go towards the things that are different from my past. It's like you're almost like specifically going towards things that are in alignment. Like you're very much manifesting something very beautiful here. You're literally trying to be in the vibration of that lifestyle. And I feel like you're doing a really good job with that. And then the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck, creative ideas could be really coming to the surface right now. I almost even wonder, is this Ace of Wands indicating that if you're having maybe a hard time connecting to your inner child, using your creativity or exploring just random ideas that pop into your mind and stuff like that, that could be something that would help you. But it also feels like, in terms of like how to feed your inner child, how to best support that inner child, maybe it's worth getting creative, doing things that inspire creativity. I feel like there's something here about da, 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 da. Um, sorry, I just got distracted. um, oh yeah, just doing things that are bringing out your creative side. So whether that be drawing, painting, poetry, um, well, actually, I feel like maybe that's the reason why I mentioned Alwyn Oak, and her channel because oh, what was it? Don't leave me. My brain's going foggy. Don't lose the thought. What was it? What was that thought? Oh, yes. Yes. I got it. I got it. I got it. So, pretty much as an alternative to something that is more of an unhealthy coping mechanism for myself, I wish to. This may sound really random. I want to start doing miniature art and art projects and things that are miniature because I have found that I really like things that I have to kind of focus, like my eyes. I like things with like small details. For some reason, my brain really likes that kind of thing. And so through watching Alwyn's videos, she does a lot of like miniature stuff. She has like a fairy house that she made. Like it's freaking gorgeous and beautiful and amazing. Um, and what else? She just does like little things all the time for like her fairies. She even made like a little fairy altar that like is so cute. Oh my gosh. But she's so creative. She's so talented. Like, oh my gosh. I'm so inspired by her. But it made me realize that I've always kind of wanted to do miniature art and stuff. But the thing is, and this is where we hang ourselves up and where we limit ourselves because I am so my conscious mind for the longest time was like, well, what's the good in doing miniature art? Like that doesn't serve a purpose. How is that monetizable? How is that seen as productive? But the thing is, just because something is not productive, just because something is not seen as a good investment or it's not profitable or whatever, these are just ways in which we control ourselves and other people control us and keep us limited, limit ourselves, limit our mindsets, limit our energies, our lives, truly. And it creates a lot of misery and pain and suffering. But if we just allowed ourselves to step out of our comfort zone, to push aside all of those societal narratives around what you invest your time into doing, what you are passionate about. It doesn't have to be productive. It doesn't have to be monetizable. Like just because you're doing something that fulfills your mind, maybe stimulates your mind, because that could be a whole nother thing. Maybe you're just feeling a lack of stimulation. And maybe miniature art would be good for you too. Um, but it's just so strange how we kind of get into our own minds and we start to think like, well, what's the good in that? Oh, that's pointless. Oh, like that's not gonna do anything. That's not gonna be anything. That's like not worth it. um but it's good to kind of sit with that and be like, but why do I think that? And is that opinion and perspective, that point of view, is that truly my opinion? Is that truly my perspective of things, or is that what society has told me to see things as? Because it definitely reduces the value of these things. And if you look at Alwyn's channel, she makes such gorgeous miniature, like, and you can tell she just does it out of like a pure passion. It's not like, oh, this will get the views, or I'm going to make a bunch of money off of this. Like, you can tell she just does it because she likes to. And it's just it's so inspiring. I'm truly inspired by her. I highly doubt that she'll ever see this, but if you see it, Alwyn, I really appreciate your channel. Um, keep doing what you're doing because I love it. But yeah, the whole reason I'm bringing this up is like maybe somebody out there has something like miniature art that they would like to do, but societal expectations, perspectives, narratives, they constrain us, right? They make us think that we can't do these things, um, even if we want to, even if we're good at them. And that's a whole nother thing too, is like if we even stop ourselves from exploring, we could like literally come into some sort of huge new explosion explosive passion. You know, what if it's like something that you grow to become very passionate about? What if it's something that you get really excited? What if it fulfills you? um I don't know. But anyways, so if you're thinking about doing something creative, but your conscious mind or subconscious mind is like trying to tell you like, no, 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 don't do that. Question that. Question where those narratives come from, because I have a feeling that it's not truly your narrative. It's what society wants the narrative to be. But yeah, when we limit our creativity and just limit ourselves in general, we live a very unfulfilling life. And that's not anything that I wish upon my collective here. Anywho, Ace of Wands. Let's see what's underneath that. Four of Swords. That's another part of it too. It's like the Four of Swords with the Ace of Wands, the message I was just talking about. It feels almost like the best part of doing these creative projects is you don't have to show them to anyone. You could literally just do these in private for the health of your soul. Because like that's a whole nother thing too, is like, sure, it may not be beneficial in the 3D reality that we live in, but what if it feeds your soul? You know what I mean? And so you don't have to even like the finished product if you're not happy with it, or you think, oh, this, you know, blah, 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 which a lot of that is based off of more societal expectations of art and what art should look like and what is considered art, what isn't. But you don't have to show it to anyone. You can literally just do it in the privacy of your own home, the privacy of your own room, and it's literally just for you. I feel like that's really important to emphasize with this message I'm getting. I'm just curious what's underneath that Four of Swords. Queen of Pentacles, which is interesting because that's also at the bottom of this deck. So it's like these things, whether you recognize it or not, they could actually help boost your vibration, help you actually become more abundant, more stable, secure, confident, just help you embody that higher vibration. And when we are in that higher vibration, things typically go smoother for us. So yeah, it feels like it's going to be multi-beneficial for you if you explore things through your creativity and don't allow society to tell you what is, you know, worth it and what is not. Anywho, let's go on to the Five of Swords and see what that's about. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is this Five of Swords about? Oh no. Please and thank you, Fae. We're doing a Fae message. Yeah. What is this Five of Swords trying to tell us, baby? What is it trying to tell us? Okay. Five of Swords, clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. Wait, which one came up first? I think it was this one. The Star card. The Four of Swords, bottom of the deck. The Magician. I have a feeling that somebody is very close to a manifestation, but because of your perspective of things, I feel like there's certain information that you don't know yet that will come to light. And it's like something about your success, but you may not see that yet. Or you may be afraid that that's not the case. Your fear could get the best of you for sure with that Five of Swords, a lot of overthinking. But it feels like you're really, really close to a manifestation. So don't give up. Please, please don't give up. This could even be something really big too, whatever this is that you're working on. Knight of Pentacles. I'm literally getting goosebumps. And yeah, it is a little bit chillier now, but it's the message I'm getting with this Knight of Pentacles, you've been so responsible, you've been so mature, you have done everything right, I want to say. And you've been embodying this sense of patience. You have had patience with the process. You've trusted in the process. You've trusted in yourself in spirit. You've made all the right investments, right choices and stuff to set yourself up for success here. But the thing is, it's slow moving. And so I feel like it could be so slow moving that you think it's stuck or that it's not going anywhere. But it is, and you're so close to something here. The Star card following that did not happen by accident. The Star card, well, there's so many things the Star card could represent, really. But it also, one of the things behind the Star card is manifestation. And so I think that you are definitely coming into some sort of great manifestation, but you may not see it yet. And not to mention, the Star card can be about like your alignment to your purpose, you living your purpose. And that not only fulfilling you, but fulfilling the collective. It's like when you heal yourself, you just kind of naturally help to heal others by being around them. Maybe there's something with that too about your own journey. Maybe that's even a part of your purpose. And also, if there's something that you need, like public attention, if you work in the public eye or you need views and stuff like that, you could be getting a lot of attention, either now or whenever this manifestation comes in. And you could be feeling really good about that. I feel like you're just like, and also if you're not in the public eye, you could just be getting attention in general. The Star card would probably be a very attractive energy for you to embody. There's also like that connection to spirit that the Star card represents. It's like you are being guided down this path, but it's almost like these messages may be coming through your intuition in such a subtle way that maybe you start to doubt yourself, or you're like, oh, maybe that's not really my intuition. Because like fear, overthinking kind of creeps up, into our brains, convinces us that we're on the wrong path, even when we are on the right path. I feel like that is a very strong message. You're on the right path. You're doing everything right. Just have a little bit more patience and it will come in for you. Interesting that the Four of Swords follows the Star card. I think you have healed yourself quite significantly. And this feels like healing that you did alone. And do you know how hard it is to do that healing on your own? That's really significant. It almost even gives me this energy of like, it was just you and spirit, baby. That's how you got through that healing. Spirit was by you every step of the way. I want to say even your ancestors, your spirit guides were literally right there with you the whole time to support you, because you may have even felt at one point that you had nobody else to depend on or to lean on during these difficult times, and you could have felt very alone, but spirit is with you, and I think you recognize that. You're definitely going to recognize it when your manifestations come in, and you're going to be like, thank you, spirit. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. But also, I feel like because you're so close to this manifestation, the Four of Swords could be indicating that you should be resting now in preparation for things to maybe get a little bit busy, but in a positive way. I feel like it's going to be an exciting busyness, but it could come out of nowhere, or it may, like if you don't take the time to prepare for it, it may be quite exhausting, especially if you're used to being in maybe a more resting sort of energy. And then the Magician at the bottom of the deck, I really do feel like you are the magician creating your own reality here. It's almost like, how do I word that? Anyways, the Magician. I think that you are this powerful manifester, and it feels almost like everybody else around you can see this. They see your power, they see that you're living your purpose, and they know that you're on the right track to your manifestations, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. Like everybody else can see it. It's almost like you're already sort of, it's like you're already in that vibration. So it's like, oh, of course the collective is going to get those manifestations, all that. Yeah, stuff along those lines. And I do feel like people definitely sense some spiritual connection that you have. Like you have a very strong connection to spirit. And they may even think that spirit is protecting you. Maybe that is also a message that spirit is protecting you, so you don't have to be afraid. Um, but yeah, people may think that you're being protected by spirit, which would also confirm that you're on the right path. Because if it was a path that you're not supposed to go down, spirit would probably try to let you know in a more obvious way. Because sometimes silence is progress, even though we don't always see it as such. We are very limited within our human bodies, our human minds, perspectives. You know, we are these spiritual beings living a human existence. But being a physical human on this earth, we do have limitations. Not to mention our ego plays a part in all of it too. There's so much subconscious stuff going on. We sometimes don't even realize that it's playing a part in our perspectives and, yeah, the things we focus on. Anywho, let's see what's underneath that magician. Seven of Cups. We clarified the Seven of Cups at the beginning of this reading. Here it is again. See, like you're literally just about to achieve something. It's going to open doors for you, new opportunities. Seven of Cups. Opportunities will be knocking on your door. It's just a matter of time. I feel like just stick with it. Just keep believing. Keep trusting in the process. All of that good stuff. And things are coming for you. Lots of opportunities for sure. It really does feel like you're going to, whatever this is that you've been working on, it's going to open doors that you didn't realize it was going to open. Like it feels like unforeseen blessings, unforeseen experiences, unforeseen opportunities, truly. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be awesome. And you're just going to feel like, it makes it worth it at the end. I want to see what's underneath that Seven of Cups. Nine of Wands. See, you've gone through so many pretty intense situations, a lot of unfair treatment, just a lot of battles you've faced in your lifetime. And so you're probably expecting that to be the recurring energy. But I don't think it is. I think you're setting yourself up for something much better here. But yeah, our minds are very convincing. Our egos are very convincing. Society is very convincing. Our social programming as well, which is what I kind of mean by society. But okay. All right, so let's go on to the Seven of Wands, see what that's about. Did I have any more messages for that? No, I think I just got distracted a lot. Anyways, let's clarify the Seven of Wands, please, and thank you, Faye. What kinds of, actually, I don't know why I'm saying what kinds. What's coming in for the collective, or what do you have to say for the collective in relation to this Seven of Wands? Oh my goodness, that's beautiful already. What else, please, and thank you, Faye. Please and thank you. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, so which part did that come out with? I think that was this. Yeah. Okay, so clarifying that Seven of Wands, we have the Seven of Cups. The Two of Wands came out in the reverse, very interesting. And then we have the Ace of Swords, Ten of Cups, the Moon card, the Two of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Swords. Yeah, I feel like that Two of Swords could definitely be your current energy in which you're feeling like you may even be thinking like, what if this isn't the path for me? But I feel like it is. Like there's something like a big purpose or like a big impact that this path is going to have on the world. And so I feel like spirit, the fae, really want to encourage you to keep going because it's going to not only impact your own life but the lives of others. And that's the beautiful thing about creating content or whatever is we never know the true full extent of the impact of the things that we're exploring or putting out there, and they can help people. They can help like people that we never even realized that we would be helping, you know? So I feel like if you're doubting if this path is for you, I feel like spirit really wants to tell you that this is what's right for you. It just is taking its time. But the thing about things taking time is like more than likely the time that it takes for these things to be prepared for you and then come into your life within divine timing, it's like fully developed at that point. You know, it's like fruit. You know, you want a ripe fruit. You don't want something that is not ripened yet. It probably won't taste very good. And so it's worth the wait. I feel like that's exactly what's going on here. And we're clarifying the Seven of Wands, which is a card about overcoming the odds, being triumphant. Not to mention, there's this imagery here with the flame. I feel like you'll be standing out in particular for these opportunities coming in with the Seven of Cups. Um, and I feel like that Seven of Cups with the Seven of Wands, it's just saying you're going to be successful. You're going to overcome whatever has been an obstacle for you, overcoming against the odds. And these opportunities will be coming for you because they're meant for you. It almost feels like fate, destiny. This is your purpose. I just keep wanting to say that. And then the Two of Wands in the reverse, I actually find this very interesting because it almost even feels like you don't have to plan for something. It's just going to happen now. So if you've been in planning mode for some time, maybe it's time to act. Or maybe you're like thinking, oh, maybe I should go back to the, what's that called? Back to the drawing board or whatever to maybe recalculate everything, to shift my energy into a whole new path, a whole new direction. But I feel like that might not actually be helpful for you at this point. And maybe it's just best to keep going, to keep doing, and to do your best to not hold yourself back with maybe overthinking or over planning. Because you don't need to have all the answers when you're starting out. You really don't. You just have to trust in yourself and trust in the process. And those things will come to light eventually within divine timing. Especially if you've been anxious about plans that you've been making for your future. I also feel like if there's been like sort of a negative, pessimistic sort of perspective that you've had on your future, it feels like that is going to become, or rather, you're going to become aware of how that may not be the case, and your future may be much brighter than you anticipate. It's almost like something unexpected is going to happen in your future, but it's something that needs to happen or is meant for you, something positive here. And then we have the Ace of Swords, so something is coming to light here, some sort of information or truth. Ten of Cups, a lot of emotional fulfillment. A lot of people see the Ten of Cups as the happily ever after card. And I feel like that is what you're headed towards. I feel like this is more encouragement that you're on the right path. You're manifesting the future that you want for yourself. The Moon card, though, see? So it's like it's all hidden from you, and that's where your fear takes over because you don't have all the information, you don't have all the details, you don't have all of the perspectives of everything and of everyone involved, you know? So, and the thing with the Moon card and the imagery here is like just keep going down your path. It's okay if you're afraid. It's okay if you don't know what's just around the corner. Keep going, even if you're afraid, even if you doubt yourself, even if you don't have all the information. It will come to light eventually. And that Ace of Swords can even be a representation of that. And the beautiful thing as well that also came out, Two of Cups. So yes, it definitely could be romantic. We did have the 10 of Cups there. And so romance could be on the horizon for you. Something very fulfilling, equal give and take. So it's not something you're going to give endlessly to and not receive anything back. This is very equal give and take. This is a very healing energy. And to apply it to the larger message of this reading, I feel like you're going to have much more reciprocal dynamics between yourself and others, regardless of if they are relationships or working dynamics, coworker dynamics. It feels like you're going to finally feel like things are balancing out for you. Finally, you're going to start seeing the results of your efforts, and it will balance everything out and feel like, okay, things are starting to make sense again. I'm glad I trusted in the process. Oh, I hope that wasn't a mosquito that just took my blood. I don't know what that kind of little insect was, but I'm just hoping because I don't want to have to deal with a bug bite. But honestly, a bug bite is like probably like, if that's the worst thing to happen to me today, I mean, it's a pretty good day, right? Could be way worse. Okay, but yeah. And if this is related to love, if you have anybody on your mind now, maybe they also have you on their mind, because it's a very reciprocal energy. You have the same feelings that the other person does. Maybe that's a new dynamic for you too. Maybe you're used to being in connections with people where it's almost like you're trying to convince them that you're a worthy cause. But I feel like with this situation, you're not going to have to prove yourself. This person's just going to see it. Yeah. So it's like a lot of good things are just around the corner for you. So please don't listen to your fear. And please do your best to tap into your intuition and not that anxiety. Okay. Which actually, Two of Swords typically is trying to tell us to listen to our intuition. And it also can be a card about moving out of your comfort zone, even if that means moving into the unknown. Because the thing about the unknown is like, yeah, sure, it's scary, unexplored territory, but because it's unexplored, because it is somewhere you've never been before, what if that is where all of your dreams come true? That is where you get all of these opportunities. So it's like you're meant to go into the unknown. I think we all are. And I feel like that maybe even be a part of life, is learning to trust in these processes, learning to trust ourselves to make the right decisions, to feel things out, and to take chances, because that's where we will get the biggest payoff, when we take a risk, when we take a chance. Yeah. And you're worth taking a chance on too. So don't downplay your own skills, abilities, talents, all of that. If you're doubting your ability to do these things, I think you're very capable. Probably over capable. Well, that sounds negative, but I just mean you're probably like overqualified. Like you literally are so qualified that you're overqualified, but not in a bad way. I want to see what's underneath that Two of Swords. King of Wands. Did we see? No, I don't think the Queen of Wands came out. But we did see the Queen of Pentacles, Oilia. King of Wands, though. Could be another person. Oh. Well, Two of Swords can sometimes be like having to choose between two paths. King of Wands may be somebody that is trying to come in towards you. And the next card that we're about to clarify is the King of Cups. So maybe you do have two options in love. So maybe that's another message behind that Two of Swords. But yeah, definitely feel these people out. Take your time with them. Do not rush into anything. That's probably the best advice I can give you, so that you actually get to know these people before jumping into a relationship with them. And I feel like the King of Wands may be somebody that's a little bit less patient than the King of Cups. So if somebody's trying to rush you here, that may be your indication that this is not the person for you. Especially because you seem like a very patient person. We saw that Knight of Pentacles earlier. I think that you deserve somebody to be just as patient as you are to you. Imagine that. Imagine somebody dating somebody who is just as patient, kind, understanding as you are. And the two of you just have this beautiful connection. That's what you are deserving of. I want to meet that King of Wands. Nine of Swords. See, you've been in anxious mode. You've been overthinking things. You've been really stressing about things. But I feel like you may, and I don't mean this to sound critical or judgmental or mean. You may, in because hindsight is always 2020. It's so much easier to see how things work out when you're already past all the difficulties, right? So you may even like look back, because I know I've done this. Like, I'm not even saying like, oh, like, ugh, but because I've personally been there, where like I'm like overthinking something, I'm stressing out, I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be the end of the world, and then that thing actually happens, and I'm like, oh, okay, that really wasn't that big of a deal. Or better yet, things end up working out in my favor. And aww. Okay, anyways, I'm getting distracted by animals. But yeah, I've definitely had probably multiple of those moments in my life where it's like, oh my god, and then it's like, oh, okay, everything worked out. So maybe I didn't need to be stressing out that bad about it. And you know, it's kind of like a little bit of like an embarrassing moment, but also freeing at the same time, because you're like, okay, maybe I can apply this to future things that stress me out, you know? That's the beautiful thing about these types of experiences. You can now apply that to future situations. So if your mind like is like its default mode is just to look for, you know, how things don't work out, how things could blow up in your face. I'm missing that message. What is it? I'm so sorry. My brain is so scattered today, so foggy. If it comes back, I will share it, but unfortunately, I lost that plot. Who knows? Maybe when I'm editing, I'll be able to remember what it was. Anywho, yeah. So let's just go on to the King of Cups now and clarify that. Please and thank you, Spirit. Oh no, please and thank you, Faye. I keep saying Spirit, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know me, always misspeaking all the time. Yeah, please and thank you, Faye. What would you like to say about this King of Cups? What does the collective need to know about this King of Cups here? Please and thank you, Faye. Please and thank you. I deeply appreciate. I would deeply appreciate as much clarity as possible when it comes to this King of Cups. King of Cups. I don't know why I like saying things weird. It just satisfies my brain. Okay, anyways, let's show you what came out. So clarifying that King of Cups, we had the Strength card, Queen of Swords, and we have the Six of Swords, 10 of Swords, bottom of the deck, 3 of Swords. A lot of Swords energy. So I think that the two of you probably have a very similar backstory, so I feel like there's maybe an overlap of experiences. And maybe you don't know this yet, but when you communicate with this person, or you come into contact with this person, they may share that with you, and you may be surprised that you have something in common or common experiences in your past. Because it feels like, because all of these swords energy, we are clarifying the King of Cups after all. So it feels like this could be the King of Cups energy that is overthinking everything, maybe even assuming the worst outcome. Also, the Strength card, I think this person probably has to become courageous to come towards you, especially if you're in this Queen of Swords energy that might be slightly intimidating. But that doesn't mean that you necessarily have to change. Like that's a big message too about things, is like, just because somebody is intimidated by your energy, that doesn't mean anything's wrong with your energy. Trust me, I've gone through that moment many times in my past, where it's like you feel like, oh, because everybody around you is making you feel weird, everybody around you is making you feel like you're too much, or you're so extra, and nobody can really handle it. You may start to, after a while, start to think, oh damn, maybe I should change, maybe I you know need to form myself to other people's liking more. But the right person will be able to overcome those fears, and they probably even like you being in that Queen of Swords energy, to be quite honest. And I actually mentioned in the last face reading I did that I actually do like the pairing of the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups, because it feels like a very balanced dynamic. The two of you will complement each other very well, especially if one of you is more logical, one of you is more emotional. The other can remind the other person to maybe ground themselves, or encourage the other person to feel, encourage the other person to be more logical, more based in reality potentially. But yeah, I feel like this is, especially because the Strength card came out upright, I think that this King of Cups is going to face their fears to come towards you. Oh, interesting. Six of Swords following that. So it almost even feels like they see you as an improvement based, or compared to their past. They see this as being maybe where they're meant to be. Like this has more potential maybe than past experiences, because it feels like this Ten of Swords is this person's past experiences, which is really sad. But it's not super surprising, unfortunately, because they are the King of Cups. The most feeling, loving souls can be treated the worst, unfortunately. So this person probably went through some really, really, really painful situations. But it's almost like moving towards you would be them taking action to move away from past experiences. Like this is what they've experienced. You are what they want to experience in the future. The Three of Swords, I don't know why. I feel like this could be a mutual energy in which the two of you may have both been involved with people that were sneaky, or like third party drama, whether that be cheating or just people being weird, trying to balance multiple people at once or something. But it feels like, at the very least, you've both experienced heartbreak from your relationships, which I feel like most of us have. But I don't know why, but it feels like something specific, or something, there's going to be overlap with experiences, I want to say, with this King of Cups and you. And it could be very, I don't know, good for you. Maybe make you even feel better about these past experiences, like, oh, I'm not the only person that went through that. And it may just build this like familiarity with one another, and a comfort, because it's like you both get each other. And you may have, oh, maybe you're both overthinkers. But it also feels like you both understand where you're coming from, and you may even have similar fears when it comes to relationships. And so that both of you are going to understand where they're coming from. And it'll just add to this compatibility that I feel like the two of you already share with one another. But if they've been hesitating, it's probably because of their past experiences being like literally a nightmare. But I also feel like your past experiences could have also been a nightmare. So I think this person, ooh, interesting. So the Ten of Swords, as I put it back down, it went into the reverse. I find that interesting because that almost feels like an end to this suffering and maybe the start of a new chapter, which the tens kind of already signify the end of a cycle, but in the beginning of a new one. But interesting though. I find that very interesting. Let's see what's underneath this Three of Swords. The Sun card, how beautiful. Don't you dare. That is so cute. Me just crying, like, oh my god, this is so cute. Because look at that background in the Three of Swords. It's cloudy, it's raining, it's bleak. And then here comes the sun. And I feel like this is how this person views you. You're the light to their life. I'm gonna just start ugly crying. That's so beautiful. You may have literally come into this person's life when they were really going through the thick of it. And you came through like a freaking beacon. Like a freaking sun. The sun in this. What the hell? That's kind of creepy. The sun is trying to come out and it hasn't come out for quite some time now because of the clouds. Why is it coming out as I'm talking about the sun coming through the clouds? What the fuck? So Spirit's not joking. This is real. You help them heal from their painful past. You may also help them to have hope, not even just in love, but in life. Not to mention, inner child healing could be a part of this as well. Maybe you make their inner child feel safe. You may inspire this person to embrace their inner child a little bit more. Ah, precious, precious energy. I don't know why, but I'm all of a sudden really anxious about not being recording right now. Okay, we still are. I'm ready for my close-up. Okay. Anyways, you may also have a very youthful sort of energy. It almost even feels like you have a certain amount of life force in you. And it just kind of oozes out of you. I know this is probably the grossest word to use, but it just, without you even realizing, it affects everyone in the best way possible. Beautiful energy. And that's probably why this person wants to come back towards you so bad. Also heavy Leo energy with the sun and the strength card. Let's see what's underneath that sun card. Queen of Wands. Interesting, because I think we saw, yes, we did, at the bottom of the deck before. It was the King of Wands. Queen of Wands here. But again, Leo energy. But again, the Queen of Wands would be definitely embodying that sun kind of energy, because that's who the Queen of Wands is. A bright light in the world. Somebody that's passionate, ambitious, not afraid of who they are. Also very charming, charismatic. Just a joy to be around. I feel like that's who you are, especially to this King of Cups here. And because we did see the King of Wands earlier, it may be an indication that the two of you could be a good match if the two of you align, but not necessarily. Depending on who that person was, that King of Wands we saw earlier, if they're showing up in a shadow energy, that probably would mean that you're not compatible, even if you are showing up as the Queen of Wands. Because it feels like you're definitely in a high vibration. You're not in that shadow element. It feels like you're very much in the light sense of the Queen of Wands. So yeah, that's really beautiful there. So expect that. Also, the Six of Swords could be maybe even an indication that this King of Cups left something else behind so they can come towards you. So maybe they're planning on making that action soon to come towards you. Yeah, buzz. Um, Also, I keep seeing like this little flying thing, like a little insect that keeps flying around, but I can't really see what it is. Um, and I like to say, which is kind of fitting for this reading, is like I like to say that they're fairies. If something's flying and I can't quite see what it is or identify what it is, I just assume, okay, that's just a fairy. I don't know why. Anyways, Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You're headed towards a chapter in which you're going to feel very secure, stable, effortlessly abundant. Things are going to go your way. You're creating something very beautiful here. Let's see what's underneath that Queen of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. There's a match there. Since there's so many queens coming through, the Empress, combination of all the queens. Emperor, combination of all the kings. We have seen the King of Wands, King of Cups, now King of Pentacles. It is very possible that maybe that King of Wands could have just been a different expression of this King of Cups. That would make sense too, because the King of Wands is more of that ambitious, go-getter energy. So, yeah, maybe the both of you are just like Emperor and Empress. And you're like very compatible with one another. You're both very multifaceted. You both understand each other's complexities. And you may be able to really support one another and build a really sturdy foundation. You may also be very like-minded, like especially within your careers. Maybe you're both trying to make a good impact in the world, trying to create something for the highest good of all, or something like that. I want to say something like that King of Pentacles. What was I just saying? I was saying maybe this is an emperor and maybe you're the empress. Well, we got the emperor here to confirm what I was literally just saying. Yeah. Can't get much better than that. That's great though. I'm pretty happy with that just happened like that. Thank you, Faye. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, everyone, for that. That was beautiful. Let's bring up the Oracle now and see what it has to add to the reading for you, for the collective. Please and thank you, Faye. What messages do you have for the collective? Please and thank you. Doesn't even have to be related to this reading, but of course can always be, because I like to keep it open-ended in case it's just like general advice. Please and thank you, Faye. What would you like to add to this reading? Also, Faye, do you like my cards? They're very nature themed. It's Green Witch, I believe. The Green Witch Oracle? Something like that. Alrighty. So the cards that came out, we have Lavender. This represents tranquility, kindness, and self-care. I feel like that has definitely been a undercurrent theme. Undercurrent? There's that little fairy. Anyways, the fae really is here. Oh, it disappeared. I don't know where it went. Anyways, Lavender. Tranquility, kindness, and self-care. I feel like those were pretty strong themes under, like, it's like the undercurrent of the themes, like the subtext of this reading. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like the self-care part, also being kind to yourself, that could be a message here. But I also feel like you're headed towards a calmer chapter in your life. Also, stress management may be important, especially if you've been very anxious and maybe consistently anxious for a period of time. That's exhausting. So make sure that you're resting, taking care of yourself, being kind to yourself as well, being compassionate, creating your own sense of tranquility and peace within your life even if it's just a safe space, you know, where you can just go to unwind, relax a little bit. That may be very important for you. The other card that came out, we have Mortar and Pestle. This is interesting. I don't think this has come out yet in one of these readings. This represents integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. This is actually pretty funny because Alwyn actually has a mortar and pestle that she like grinds up. Like, I think I saw her grinding up cinnamon or something. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I want to grind up cinnamon now. I'm very easily influenced when it comes to Alwyn's videos. But interesting. Mortar and pestle, integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. Integration. That feels like the two of you and this potential partner that's on the horizon for you. Why does it feel like the two of you, when you become integrated with one another, you're going to become a strong team? Like and it could even be a bigger purpose to that. Well, I was saying something about maybe your purposes or your ideas around what you do may be very compatible or very similar. So maybe the two of you are going to do something really big in life and it's going to affect the world in a very positive way. Subtlety. I feel like there was a point in this reading where I said that, yeah, like your intuitive downloads may be coming through so subtly. You may think that they're not coming through, or you may think or feel like you may doubt them, something along those lines. But it's like, maybe pay attention to subtlety. Ooh, that could also be a little bit of a reminder around maybe your romantic life. Somebody that subtly sort of, because like, you know, we are so based around instant gratification in our society nowadays. And so I feel like there is something very romantic in the whole, what do you call it? The slow burn romance, the buildup, the yearning. Like there's something behind that that I really like, as long as the two of you are like on the same page, of course. I feel like somebody that's really interested in you may try to be subtly sort of flirting, hinting at something. And I feel like it may be kind of fun to read into and be like, oh, is that what you mean? You know, like, and maybe you'll have like a little dynamic back and forth where the both of you are just like hinting at things, not quite like hitting the nail on the head quite yet. Maybe that's coming, but for the meantime, let's sprinkle a little bit of flirtiness. Let's sprinkle a little bit of subtle cues and hints to kind of keep this spark alive. I don't know why. That's really cute for some reason. That's coming through. And then thoroughness. I think you're a very thorough person. And maybe that's probably what causes the overthinking. Personal experience. When you're very thorough, you definitely like think everything through like a million times and you're like, okay, how did I do this wrong? Or how can I do this right? I think you're very thorough. So maybe trust that. Trust that you have taken the pains that are necessary to ensure your own success in something because you're thorough. Trust that, yeah. Trust in your ability to do things right, to make the right choices for yourself, to really check off all the boxes. Like, I feel like you're so thorough. It almost gives me that sense of what I said earlier. It's like you're almost overqualified. You're so qualified for these beautiful things coming in. And then bottom of the deck, we have buds. This represents new beginnings and expansion. I feel like that is perfect for the time of year because we are in March and spring is just around the corner. Buds, so you'll definitely start to see things budding and blooming depending on where you're at in the world. New beginnings. I think that you're going to be coming into some big new beginnings, both within your career or these opportunities opening up for you, but also in love. And then the other word that came out to represent this buds card is the expansion. See, that feels like something that you are preparing or working on building up. It's actually going to expand in a way that is beyond what you could imagine, but in a way that's very positive. And it kind of connects me back to that 7 of Cups energy. Lots of opportunities, like expansion in ways that you never even thought were possible on this path. And it, yeah, like unforeseen blessings, unforeseen opportunities definitely coming your way. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this reading. I hope to maybe do more of these in the future if y'all like it. But thank you, Faye. Thank you, Spirit, for those beautiful messages. I truly appreciate it. And I thought that was actually a very beautiful reading. And I hope that inspired you, motivated you, or just gave you. There's little duckies. Sorry, my voice went really high pitched, but there's little duckies. I think they were babies with their mama. That's so cute. I love ducks. I love geese. I love animals. Like, let's be so real. They are literally what makes life worth living. They're little angels, all of them. Anyways, sorry, I got distracted by the ducks, but they were literally so cute. They were like so small. And I think they were with their mama. Anyways, I saw a duck earlier with like a red head, or it almost looked like hair. It was like doing a little mohawk red thing. I'm gonna have to look that up because I'm not quite sure what kind of duck that was. Maybe I'll include it in the. I have no idea what kind of duck that was that just swam by. They were cute and small. Even what I assumed was the mother was kind of small. So I don't think mallard. Something else. I don't know how to look it up though because it's such a specific thing. But I'm sure like the red-haired or whatever, red feather duck is probably something like red feather, blah, blah, blah. Or like the red belly, the red-headed. I don't know. Anyways, I'll maybe like include the spiritual significance of that duck in particular because at least I can remember what it looks like and I can look it up and hopefully figure out what it was and include that spiritual significance. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. You got something out of it. And I hope that this will encourage you to keep going and not to give up because things are coming your way, whether you see it or not. Spirit has a way of surprising us in the best kind of way. So, wait, what is my outro? Why do I always forget it? Oh, yes. If it resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we can be a little bee family together. If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you the next time that I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.